Question number 21. Express 3 minus 2 for those matrix as a single matrix. So we first have to bring the 3 inside. So 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 1 is 3. Minus 3 times minus 5 is minus 15. 3 times minus 4 is minus 12. Minus, we bring the 2 inside. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times minus 3 is minus 6. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 2 is 4. So now we have to subtract the corresponding terms. So 9 minus 2 is 7. 3 minus 6 will be 3 plus 6 will be 9. Minus 15 minus 0 will be minus 15. Minus 12 minus 4 will be minus 16. And that is your answer for part A. Okay, so now moving on to part B. Find the inverse of this matrix. So let's call the matrix A. To find the inverse of A, we have to find 1 over determinant, and we have to find the adjacent matrix. So let's find determinant first. Determinant is equal to 3 times minus 4 minus 5 times 1, which is equal to minus 12 minus 5, which is minus 12, plus 5, which is minus 7. So now let's find the adjacent matrix. So adjacent matrix is equal to, we have to flip those two, which is 3 becomes, we have to bring the 4 up and 3 down. So minus 4, 3, and change the sign of those two. 5 minus 1. So A inverse will be 1 over minus 7, and then this matrix, and that is the inverse of this matrix. So you can always bring this in. That will be 4 over 7, 1 over 7, 5 minus 5 over 7, and minus 3 over 7. That's the matrix inverse for this matrix. Question number 22, part A. Factorize 9a squared minus 6a. So we have to factorize those two terms. So what is common? I see that a is common and then 3 is common. So what's remaining will be 3a minus 2. So that's your answer for this part. And then the next part B, we have 4 minus 25t squared. So what is 4? 4 is 2 squared minus what is 25 is 5 squared t squared. So we know that if we have a squared minus b squared, that will be a plus b, and that will be a minus b. Right. So from that theorem, we can use it here. So here we have 2 squared minus 5t squared. So this will be a and this will be b in this equation. So that will be 2 plus 5t, 2 minus 5t, and that's the answer. Okay, and for the last part, we have 6cd minus xy plus 2cx minus 3dy. We can see we have c here and we have c here. So let's group these two together. So 6cd plus 2cx plus, let's put these two on this side, so minus xy minus 3dy. So on this side, what is common? We see we have c in common and 2 in common. So what's remaining? It will be 3d plus x. And on this side, what is common? Minus y is common. So we take out minus y. We will have x plus 3d. So 2c 3d plus x minus y. We rearrange those two. It will be 3d plus x will be equal to, we take those two out because they are common. We have 3d plus x, 2c minus y, and that is your answer for part C. So question number 23, that will be a locus question. So the first question is what? Is the diagram shows a triangle ABC, measure the angle ABC. So we have to measure this angle A, B, C, this angle B. So we need to use this tool to measure this angle. So from my side, I will get so 98. For me, I got 98 for this angle B. But you can also get 97, 96, depending on the way you measure this. And the Cambridge O-Level CIE has a range of errors for the measurement of angle. So for me, I got 98 degrees for the angle. Okay, so now part B. On the diagram, construct the perpendicular bisector of AB. Okay, so we have the line AB. We have to construct the perpendicular bisector of AB. So we take our compass, we go to point B and make an arc on this side and draw an arc on this side as well. And then go to point A and then draw an arc to intersect the first arcs, just like that. So when you have these 2 points of intersection, this and this, you can join them to form the perpendicular bisector of AB. So that's the question part 1, that is done. So that's the bisector of AB. Okay, so now question part C. On the diagram, construct the locus of points that are 5 centimeters from C. So the point C will be here. So I have to measure 5 centimeters. We'll take our ruler. So let's say we have, the scale is here. So that was 0 and 5. So we take our compass, measure 5. And then from measure 5, as you can see. Then go to point C and draw the arc. So I think I made a mistake. So it's not straight. Let me try again to make it better. So I'll go to the scale, 0 to 5, and then go to point C, and then draw the arc. Okay. So these are the points, which is 5 centimeters from the point C. Okay. That's the question for part C. So now we have to go to point D. So the points P and Q lie on the perpendicular bisector of AB, which we got from part B, and are 5 centimeters from C. Okay, so it will be on the circle. Mark and label the points P and Q on the diagram. Measure PQ. So we are given that the points P and Q lie on the bisector of the AB. So that will be the first point, and then we have to continue this line to get the other point. So that will be the point Q, that's the point P. So now we have to use a ruler to measure those 2 lines, which is, so for me, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.3 centimeters for the distance PQ. That's the answer for me. But you may also get 6.5, 6.2, and that will be okay as well. But the main point. Question number 24. The diagram is a speed time graph of part of a train's journey. Question number 1. Part A. Calculate the speed of the train when t is equal to 5. So at this point, t is equal to 5. So we can use proportion. So what I mean is, you see there's a triangle for this shape. So we have a big triangle, which is t equal to 0 until t equal to 10. So the length is 10, and this height is 30 minus 12 will be what? Will be 18 for the height. So 10, 18 for that height. So what is the small triangle? When t equal to 5, this will be 5. We are trying to find x. So we use proportionality. We say this side and this side. So 5 over 10 is equal to x over 18. So x is equal to what? So we cross multiply. So we have, so 0.5 times 18 will be 9. So the height x is 9. So we go back to this main picture. So the height will be 9 to find the speed. So will be 12 plus 9 is, so 12 plus 9 is 21. So the speed at time t will be 21 m per second. Okay. So now moving to part B, the acceleration. So where is the acceleration? So that's deceleration. Acceleration is this part. So we know acceleration is equal to the gradient of the graph. Will be the height divided by base. Okay. So what is the height? This height will be 30 minus 12, which is 18, and the base is 60 minus 40, which will be 20. So it will be 18 divided by 20. So the acceleration will be, so divided by 2 will be 9, 10. So 9 over 10, 0.9. So acceleration will be 0.9 m per second square. So now we have to calculate the distance traveled from t equal to 40 to t equal to 60. So it will be the area in the graph for this shape. So we have a triangle and a rectangle, or that will be a trapezium. So a trapezium, so let's take this shape out. We can find the area on the graph. So for a trapezium, so 40 to 60, that will be 20. The height is 20. And what is this length? This length is 30. As you can see, the length is 30. And what is this small length? Is 12 minus 0 is 12. So this small length is 12. Okay, so how to find the area of a trapezium? We have to do half times the sum of the two sides will be 30 plus 12, and times the height in between, which is 20. That will be 10. So 30 plus 12 is 42 times 10, 420. That will be my answer for the distance travel between time 40 to time 60. Question number 25. So in the diagram, the equation of the line AC. So this line AC is 7x plus 5y equal to 35. Okay, so write down the three inequalities that define the region inside the triangle ABC. So the first inequality will be above this line. So that will be 7x plus 5y greater or equal to 35. Okay. And then we have to, so inside, so it will not be equal to. So take out the equal because it is only inside of the triangle. And the next equation will be this line. So that's the line x equal to 4. And this is the line y equal to 5. So it needs to be less than 4. So that will be x less than 4. It needs to be less than 5, so that'll be y less than 5. So this will be the three equations defining the area, the region inside the triangle ABC, inside. So now we say the line y is equal to kx is an integer, so where k is an integer, passes through the triangle ABC. Find the greatest possible value of k. So k is an integer, so k can be what? It can be, so it needs to be positive because the image is on this side, so it can be 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on, right? So that's the possible values of k. So one way to find the maximum value of k is to find the gradient of the line OA. So let's find the gradient of the line OA. Okay, so we have the height is 5. So the height we know already is 5. This height. That's the height 5. We need to find this width, this length. Okay, so what is the coordinates of A? So we can see that this line intersects the line y equal to 5 at A. So let's replace the value to find the value of x. So equation of that line is 7x plus 5y equal to 35. And we have the line y equal to 5 intersecting the line at A. So replace y in this equation. We have 7x plus 5 equal to 35. 7x equal to 35 minus 25. 7x is equal to, we have 10. X is equal to 10 divided by 7, which is 1. 3/7. Right. So this distance is about 10/7. So what is the gradient of the line OA? Is the top distance is what is 5. Divide by 10/7. That will be 5 divided by 10 times 7/1. That will be 2. 7/2 will be 3.5. So the gradient OA will be 3.5, which means that the maximum gradient that this line, the line y equal to kx, can have is 3 is equal to 3.5k. But k is an integer. It can only take the value of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the greatest integer it can be, it cannot be 3.5, but it can be 3. That's the greatest integer it can be. So k is equal to 3. So just to recap, to find the biggest value of k, we first find the gradient of the line OA. So we know till where the line can go to. So once we find the gradient, we know that that's the maximum gradient the line y is equal to kx can have. But since k is an integer, we have to have an integer value for this. So what is the integer value less than 3.5? It will be 3. That's how you find k for this question. Question number 26. The sequence in the diagrams show patterns made from some black beads and some white beads. Okay, now part A. Complete the table for diagram 5. So we can see that 3, 16, 25, 36, these are all square numbers. So the next one will be a square number as well, which will be 49. And this one we can see that we are adding 3 every single time. So 7 plus 3 is 10, 10 plus 3 is 13, 13 plus 3 is 16, 16 plus 3 is 19. And for the last one, we're taking the top minus the bottom. So 36 minus 16 is 20. So 49 minus 19 is 30. Okay, so that's it. So now part B, write down an expression in terms of n for part 1, the number of white beads in n. So white beads, the first term is 7. Let's write 7 down, plus the difference in every term is, so we have 7, 10, 13. So it goes plus 3, plus 3. So plus 3, and then we have to do n minus 1. So that's the term for the number of white beads, which is 7 plus 3 and minus 1. So now moving on to part 2, the total number of beads in diagram n. So we can see that for diagram 1, we have 9, diagram 2, we have 16, diagram 3, we have 25, diagram 4, we have 36, diagram 5, we have 49. So what is 9? We say it is a square number. So that's 3 square, 4 square, 5 square, 6 square, 7 square. So we need to find the nth. So let's look inside. So we take the square out. We don't care about the squares for now. So 1 becomes 3 square, 2 becomes 2 square, 2 becomes 4 squared, 3 becomes 5 squared. So what does n become? N becomes n plus 2 squared. If you can see, if you take 5, 5 becomes 5 plus 2 is 7 squared. If you take 4, 4 becomes 4 plus 2 is 6 squared. So same, if you take n plus 2 squared. That will be the nth term for the number of beads. So the last part is find an expression in terms of n for the number of black beads in diagram n. So we know that the total number of beads is n plus 2 squared. And we know the expression for the white beads as well. We have to minus the white beads, which is 7 plus 3n minus 1, which will be equal to the black beads. So simplify, we will get what? So n squared plus 2n plus 4 minus 7 minus 3, and we have to expand this bracket. So n squared plus 2n plus 4 minus 7 minus 3n plus 3. Bring this up, so we have n squared. So now for nth term, we have 2n minus n will be minus n. And then we have 4 minus 7 plus 3 will be 0. So that will be cut off. So that's the answer. Factorize, we have n minus 1. That is our answer in the simplest form for the number of black beads in diagram n. Question number 27. So in the diagram, we have OP as a vector of minus 3 and 4. We have PQ as a vector of 2 and 0. Okay, so part A, we have to find the length of OP plus the length of PQ. So first, let's find the length of OP. Is square root of minus 3 square plus 4 square. That will be 9 plus 16. That will be 25, and that is 5. So now find the length of PQ. Square root of 2 square plus 0 square. That will be 4 plus 0. That will be square root of 4. That will be 2. So OP is 5 plus 2. That will be 7. So the answer is 7 for this addition. Now moving on to part B. We have T is a point where PT is K times PQ. Okay, so that is given to us. So now we have to express OT in terms of K. So we need to find OT. What is OT? OT is, I know that O can go to P, and from P it is given to us that P can go to T. So OP, what is OP? OP is minus 3, 4 plus PT is K times PQ is 2, 0. We just have to expand, so minus 3 plus 2K, and that will be 4. So that's OT. Okay, now moving on to part 2. So M is a point such that OT and M lies on a straight line. So straight line OTM. So what does this mean? It means that OT is a multiple of, or you can say OM is a multiple of OT. So we can write this down as this. So OM, so OT equal to a factor, let's call it F, times OM. So from this information, we derive this equation, which is OT is equal to F as a multiple times OM. So now we replace the value. So OT is what? OT is minus 3 plus 2K over 4 equal to F times OM is minus, so not minus, 24 over, so not over, but 16. So now we just have to expand this side. We will have what? We will have minus 3 plus 2K equal to 24F. That's your first equation. And then we will have 4 equal to 16F. That's your second equation. So you have to solve the simultaneous equation to find the value of K. So what is F? F is equal to 4 divided by 16, which is 1 over 4. So replace F in the first equation. So we get minus 3 plus 2K equal to 24, 1 over 4. That will be 1, 6. So minus 3 plus 2K equal to 6. 2K is equal to 6 plus 3. And K is equal to 9 divided by 2, which is 4.5. So your answer is 4.5. So the main takeaway from this question is we have a point M such that OTM is a straight line. So when you see that, it means this equation will be formed, which is OT is a factor, is a constant times OM. If these two, T and M, if OTM lies on a straight line, we get this equation. That's the takeaway from this question.